Hey guys, and welcome back to the Den, honey. Welcome back to another episode. I'm so excited to be sitting in this space with you ladies. And in today's episode, I want to talk to you guys about something that I noticed in regards to elevation. And when we talk about elevation, I'm really discussing like getting into new rooms, right? Being around new people, being around a different aura, being around women who are more successful or women that you may consider to be more successful or who may even possess a position that's higher than your own. Now, something that I've noticed commonly with a lot of people is that a lot of people are struggling to be themselves, right? Something that I believe that can really help with this is alone time, right? I think that right now we just live in such a cliquey kind of like culture to where everyone is pretty much booed up, right? Everybody's booed up. People are trying to hold on to relationships to overcome some generational curses, right? Maybe marriage wasn't in your family. Maybe you're trying to be that couple that has that extensive marriage that is long lasting. But I'm just here to tell you straight up, you're not God. You're not God. You don't know how that's going to work out for you. You don't know if that is even what God has planned for you. I think it's so important for us as women to even ask God, does he want us to be married? Like, God, do you want me to be married? You know what I mean? And if God puts that desire in our heart, okay, cool. Then that's fine. You can move forward. But understand that this is not something that you're going to have to manufacture. I just think it's so sad that we are in a culture now today where people are going crazy because they have to do everything in their own strength. They have to do everything in their own might. And that's just not the way in which God wants us to live. And so what I found in regards to today's topic, what I found in regards to a lot of women is there is this spirit of competitiveness, right? There is a spirit of competitiveness. There are women who, and I've even experienced this for myself. I met a young lady. I thought she was really dope. And, you know, there are just people who just feel the need to compete. And I'm here to tell you right now, when you're coming into rooms where you're, you know, or even if you're coming into somebody's space and you admire their work, you admire what it is that what they do, you have to understand that spirit of competition is not one in which you want to come in and lead with that. Understand that when you're around successful women, first and foremost, look at it from a new perspective. Like, understand that if God did it for them, he would do it for you, right? And secondly, we got to start taking into consideration, you don't know what people been through, okay? You don't know what people been through. You don't know you don't know what they had to go through to get to where they're at, right? You don't know even their life today. Like, you don't even know if they're happy. So many people manufacture lives that may be outside of the will of God, or maybe it's something that God has for them, but they're not telling you how tired they are, right? I know a lot of people are like, don't sleep, no team, no sleep. Yeah, but no sleep can make you cranky. No sleep can enable you from actually enjoying and showing up and being present. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying there's not seasons in life. Like, I definitely think that there are seasons where we have to work hard. There are seasons where we have to put forth that effort and we have to be in that space. But this, you know, that's not what God wants for us. I think it's important to understand, what do you want for your life, you know? So that's first things first, understanding what it is that you want for your life. And secondly, getting into a space where you realize that you can't sit at the table with the big dogs trying to compete with everybody. Hush it. Be quiet. Sit back, relax, learn something. You know what I mean? And honestly, for me, whenever I'm in great admiration of people, I'm just thankful to be in their presence. Honestly, I'm thankful to be in their presence, but I also know that I deserve to be here, right? So that's for me on my own little subtle tip. Like, I know that if God has put me in his room, I deserve to be here. So I'm never coveting anybody. And I think because I always met young ladies and women who were jealous of me. And I was like, I don't know how they could be jealous of me. Like, my life is X, Y, and Z, honey. Like, we done been through some tough times. Like, I don't know how in the world these people are jealous of me, but they were. And so I think because I was on the opposite side of that, like, I knew, like, I just could not be jealous of people. Like, I just didn't have that because I knew what it was like, you know, when people was jealous of me, and then I knew what I was going home to and what I had to go home and deal with. You know what I mean? So I just think for myself, I learned very early on, like, I just didn't covet anyone because you just never know what people are going through, right? And so this spirit of competitiveness, like, it just has to stop. Like, I'm so sick of it. And it really can close doors on you. Like, if you don't get yourself together, it will close doors on you. It really will. And I think the sad part about it is, like, it is so disheartening because the way in which the world is today and the way in which we're going, it's just like, there are just so many people who just sit online all day and just covet the lives of others. You know what I mean? There are so many people who sit online and just kind of copy and paste something that everybody else is doing. Like, be your own person. You are enough. Nobody ever told you you were enough. But I'm here to tell you, you are enough. You know what I mean? Your creativity, the way in which you show up in the world, like, you are enough. You know, and being competitive, it just closes doors, right? You think that I'm going to hang out with this young lady who's competitive, right? Once I sense the spirit on you, like, you're competitive. Like, I'm absolutely not going to do that. And you don't even realize it, that sometimes you're blocking your own blessings by being in that space where you can't grow and you can't learn and you can't just sit there and be quiet. It doesn't matter what you feel like you're qualified for. And I think that's the saddest thing. Like, sometimes when it comes to, you know, education and degrees, I know a lot of women do lead with this. I've never met anyone to lead with that. But sometimes when it comes to your education, sometimes you think that, you know, just because you're educated, you're better than someone, right? And I'm not saying that you're not. Like, I'm not saying that being educated is not something you should be proud of. I think going to an institution, actually completing 4 years, maybe 5 or however many years, is something to really be proud about. School is not easy. Like, it's not easy. It requires a lot of discipline, a lot of hard work, and you earn that. And you absolutely deserve to talk about your accomplishments, and you deserve to be praised for those accomplishments 100%. But whenever you step into a room, don't feel like you don't have a sense of entitlement about you, because there's so much you don't know, and there's so much school can't teach you, and that's just period. You know what I mean? So I think we have to realize that there are specifications in that, right, in that path, and in the way in which that road is going to go. So you have to understand, when you come out of that and you come into a season, or you're dealing with women who may have a different background, or maybe they did go to school, but they may be further along than you. Like, you got to learn how to sit back and just kind of be, you know what I mean? Learn from people, you know. But I don't know. I think the way of the world today, so many women struggle with this because we're all being put against each other, right? First it was the makeup, no makeup, natural girls, no natural girls, right? All that stuff. And then now it's kind of like the dating pool, right? I feel like the dating scene, it's kind of like every woman feels like, if I have a man, then I'm somebody, right? And it makes me sad to see how much women are tolerating and how much women are settling for just to say that they're in a relationship. So yeah, when it comes to the spirit of competitiveness, like, please rid it, get it out of your head, get it out of your business. Like, it has nothing to do with you. I've never been someone who was competitive. I just didn't have that. You know, I just didn't have that. I was always so focused on myself because I was bullied growing up, right? So I knew that I'm never going to be like these kids. I'm never going to be like these girls. Like, I'm never going to be like them, you know? And even when I had friends who I thought was so pretty, I never competed with them. We actually had real, like, you know, friendships. Like, I never felt the need to compete because, like I said, being bullied early on in my life, that taught me I was not like nobody. I was like, okay, it's clear. I ain't like these girls. I'm not like nobody else. So I really was able to lock in on myself. And so I was very thankful for my humble beginnings. But it looks different now, right? It looks different now. So I just had to get on here and share that with people, because I know that too often we're in a space of comparison, and it does not serve us. It's probably one of the most debilitating things. Like, that energy will get the doors closed on you every single time, you know, every single time. And here's another thing too, ladies. Sometimes if we can learn how to develop a community, like if you see a girl who's starting something and, you know, she's got some really dope ideas or whatever, I've never been too proud to help. But I realized that God wanted me at the front line, but I wanted to start in the back. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to start in the back. I was like, okay, I'm gonna work for X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna work with these people. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna sit back here on this back line, and I'm gonna say nothing. I'm gonna learn from her, whatever she needs me to do. But every time that happened, unfortunately, I was like presented with poor leadership, poor management. Like, so I realized that God wanted me on the front line, and I also realized too, I was a leader. I really wasn't a follower, but I never was too proud to do that, though. I was never too proud to get dirty, sit back, get my hand, you know, keep my head down and do whatever was asked of me. But today, I think because Instagram creates this illusion of grandeur, like, I think everybody is so selfish and kind of full of themselves today. So many people think that they're better than they actually are, and they don't focus on getting better, because you get online and you can find a meme, you can find a post that validates what you're feeling, right? And so you don't really have no level of self-awareness or self-accountability within yourself. And so if I'm thinking that I'm top stuff, when I know I was dead wrong with my homegirl, right? I know I was dead wrong in a friendship. But if I get online and I'm being validated by people who going through the same thing, who in the same boat as me, but maybe they appear to look like they're in a different position because they have money or whatever they're posting, I know that for myself, I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna stay there. I'm not gonna grow, right? So we have to just be mindful of these things. Like it's just so important to understand that, like, learn to correct yourself, learn to correct yourself, learn when to admit, like, that wasn't right, but so many people don't. And honestly, it's just a sad thing. So I'm praying for correction for you ladies, because I understand, like, I mean, I don't understand it entirely, and I want to, but those are just some things that I noticed, and I had to speak to that, because that stuff right there, like, people don't realize it's your character that closes doors. It's not your degrees, it's not your qualifications, it's your character. It's how you show up, it's how you speak, it's how you do what you do. That's what opens and closes doors. That's what sustains you, right, for your success. Everybody's so in a rush for success. Like, how about you work on being a successful person? Work on becoming a successful person. Work on becoming someone who, you want to sit with, like, but we don't really focus on the personal development aspect. I think that right now we're kind of in a wave where personal development and self-care and self-love is all about the tangible sense, right? It's all about the tangible sense. It's all about who's validating my ego, who's stroking my ego. That's self-love. That's self-care. That's what's serving me, right? Like, everything is kind of just misconstrued. That's why I say all the time, like, just be mindful of where you're getting your wisdom, or quote unquote wisdom, where you're getting your resources from, because it can make all the difference. So, all right, ladies, I just had to get in here and add this to the subscription service, because I seen this and I was like, that's odd. But definitely praying for you guys' correction, because it's not easy being successful. So anytime you're around someone and you see them successful, understand that it was a lot of hard work and a lot of trials that they had to overcome. Okay?